Is for sale by owner, or FSBO, the best way to go? Let's take a look at how beneficial it is to sell your own house, also known as for sale by owner or FSBO. I'm Susan Holland with the firm Real Estate Agency in Ozark, Missouri. If you're doing a for sale by owner, also called FSBO, I am sure you have run into some challenges you didn't expect. There are so many small and large details that must be attended to when selling a house. You think you're saving money when selling your house on your own, but once involved in the very tedious process, you wonder if it's worth it. There are several benefits to working with a real estate professional when you are selling your house. As a third-party objective participant, a realtor can work with you to get your house sold. Stick around to the end and I will be giving away a couple of free guides to help you with your selling experience. Okay, let's check out the FSBO situation. It is of utmost importance to consider the following situations and issues. Number one, your safety is priority. Realtors are trained to follow the proper protocol to sell your house by being the one who makes the appointments that will fit your time and life. When you in FSBO, it is more difficult to control the entry into your home. Say what? Okay, let's think about it. People will see your sign and just show up on your doorstep or call from the street in front of your house expecting you to show it to them right then. Yikes! Time for flight of the bumblebee. Feeling panicked, you start yelling at everyone to pick up the place. Just at that time, the dog decides to do his business on the floor, or the cat hacks up a fur ball that looks more like a large branch dropped from the front yard oak tree in the middle of your living room. Let's not forget the smell. Oh my gosh, the smell. As all this seems to be happening all at once, you are cursing the buyer for dropping by and just wanting to see the house. Your heart is racing and your ire is up. Then you open the front door with a fake stiff smile and say, "Welcome to my home." Even though the potential buyer apologizes for the intrusion, you are not thinking kind thoughts. This hostility may be seeping out without your intention, and the experience will be less than pleasant and warm for either of you. The stress meter has hit its maximum point. Oh my gosh, I'm exhausted thinking about it. Okay. Sometimes you may find it easy to say, "No, I'm sorry, but you must make an appointment." But most times it will flash in your head, what if this is the one? What if they move on to another house? What if? If you have an agent, you can depend on that person to do all the work dealing with the appointments and showings. You would still want to straighten up the house, but you are in complete control of when a showing can occur and can leave the agent to deal with the buyers. You do not want just anyone walking into your house. And it can be very disconcerting to see a stranger at your door wanting to come inside to take a peek. Another safety issue and challenge is the pandemic. A realtor will have proper protocols in place to protect you and your family's health and belongings. A realtor can control how many people enter your home and can be there to keep your home sanitized as the client walks through. A realtor will have no problems laying down the law while taking care of your house during a showing. Realtors can also set up virtual showings for clients, which helps keep down the traffic. During the pandemic, I have done several virtual showings for buyers who want to see the house but do not want to get out. Or, as a seller, you may want to have the realtor video your home and go through the potential buyers who are serious before bringing them into your home. Just to throw in what the potential buyer might be thinking. Before I was a realtor and was searching for a house, we would drive by an FSBO house and look at it, and we might like it, but inevitably we wouldn't go to the FSBO house. We didn't feel comfortable calling the seller or walking up to the door, and we didn't want to wait on the seller time frame. We called our realtor and had her set up all the appointments that fit both ours and the seller's time. So a realtor not only protects you, the seller, they are also helping the buyer too. Number 2, a powerful online strategy is a must to attract a buyer. Studies done by the National Association of Realtors of NAR show that even before COVID, 43% of people were searching for homes online. And that number has jumped to 97% since COVID and the shutdowns began. Advertising a house can be tough if you do not have a strong online presence. A realtor typically has a website and several social media platforms with large audiences to promote your house. They will be broadcasting your home all over the area and the country. If you would like to check out my online presence, follow the links below in the details. People may not come across your home in the social media marketplace, but they will see it when a realtor advertises it. Number 3, the paperwork and negotiation. Oh my gosh, if you're not used to contracts, paperwork, and negotiations, hold on to your hat because you are in for a ride. Here are just a few of the people and transactions you'll need to consider for negotiation and the transactions if you decide to FSBO. The buyer who wants the best deal, the buyer's agent who solely represents the buyer, the inspector and inspection company who also works for the buyer and will almost always find things wrong that will cause negotiations to drag out with notice of inspection forms going back and forth. The appraiser, if there is a question on the value of the house, writing a legal contract that must satisfy all parties, the lender, the title company, and more. If you're selling your house by owner, who is representing you? Realtors are trained and educated on how to deal with every part of the transaction. They work for you and represent you and protect you. They take care of the major things like negotiations, contracts, dealing with the lender, the title company, the appraiser, the inspector, and any other professional or institution that may be called in to look at the house. The realtor also knows how to navigate the emotional roller coaster that most assuredly occurs. They can mediate the frustrations and emotions for the buyers who are probably making the largest purchase of their lives while looking out for and considering your best interest as a seller. Number 4, you will not know if the buyer is qualified for a mortgage. So, you found a couple who want your house. They look like a lovely couple who seem to be the perfect fit for your house, but how do you know they will be able to come through with the loan? A realtor will know exactly how much the buyer is able to spend and will be able to talk to the buyer's lender about possibilities and issues. A good realtor will make sure the buyer is already qualified before they ever reach your doorstep. There is nothing more frustrating than going through the entire real estate process to find that the people who loved and wanted your house so much just found out they cannot afford it weeks after everyone had their heart set on the deal. What a letdown and a waste of time. You're back to square one and your house has more days on the market, making other buyers suspicious. You need a realtor communicating with the lender on a nearly daily basis to make sure everyone is at the closing table. Number 5, by doing FSBOing is becoming more difficult from a legal standpoint. I keep talking about how a realtor can protect you. Here are some major reasons to consider. The contracts and paperwork involved in the selling process is growing dramatically as more and more disclosures and regulations become mandatory. In an increasingly litigious society, the realtor acts as a third party to help the seller avoid legal jeopardy. This is one of the major reasons why the percentage of people trying to sell their own homes has dropped from 19% to 8% over the last 20 plus years. It is just too risky. A realtor knows what can and cannot be done and will make sure all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted so the seller does not have to worry about making the most minute mistake that can cause a barrage of unintentional legal consequences. Number 6, you believe you are making more profit by not using a realtor. Many people believe they will avoid the real estate commission by doing FSBO. Buyers sometimes think they will get in on the savings by going to an FSBO, but you can't have it both ways. Studies have been done that show that those who list their house with a realtor profit more from the sale than they would if they had tried to sell it on their own. It goes back to resources and advertising, and to a person who has been trained to sell houses to be on your side to fervently promote your house. The realtor and brokerage have the main resource of the multi-list, also known as the MLS, that lists all homes for sale and sends them out to online sources. That produces a lot of competition. On top of that, the realtor and the brokerage the realtor works for will both be advertising and using several different means of advertising in the process. And as an FSBO, you do not have those tailored resources at your disposal. Picture this possibility. The more people who see the home and want it, the greater the chances are that there would be a bidding war that would potentially drive the price higher. More profit for you. Bottom line, selling your own house reminds me of a story my husband told me about when he was a kid. His mother asked him and his brother to vacuum the carpet while she was gone. They didn't want to do the work, but they wanted their mother to believe they had done the work, so they went to the shed and got out the rakes. Yes, I said rakes. They spent 2 hours raking the carpet so it would look like it had been vacuumed. They ended up spending more time and effort making the carpet look vacuumed by raking it than they would have if they had just vacuumed to begin with. Don't spend more time and stress than you have to in order to sell your house without paying a commission. By the end of the ordeal, you will see that you have wasted your time and your money and your effort. Even worse, if you are working and trying to keep up with calls, texts, emails, and walk-up buyers, you are going to be stretched thin. A realtor can handle all of that for you, and they can show your house when you're not home, which helps you and your buyer from having to be tied to your work schedule. Listing on your own leaves you to manage the entire transaction by yourself. Why do that when you can hire an agent and still net the same amount of money, if not more? Before you decide to take on the challenge of selling your house alone, talk to a local real estate agent professional to discuss your options. If you're in the Springfield, Missouri area, please feel free to call me or shoot me an email or text, and I would be happy to answer any questions you have. Now, as promised, I have a guide that contains a list of mistakes sellers can avoid before they even begin, and I also have a guide to help you create a perfect photo shoot for your home, whether you do it yourself or have a professional photographer do it. Just click the links below in the details to receive these free guides. If you find this information helpful, please hit the like and click subscribe. Each week I put out a new video or two with some great information for the real estate process. If you would like notifications, hit the bell too. I'm Susan Holland with the Firm Real Estate Agency in Ozark, Missouri, and I love living in the Ozarks.